to.
Good afternoon. This is the Candidates Forum for Stockton City Council District 2. The League of Women Voters of San Joaquin County, the NAACP Stockton Branch, and Delta College's Multimedia, Political Science, and History programs are sponsoring this forum. My name is Gillian Murphy, and I'm privileged to be this afternoon's moderator. I would now like to introduce our panelists. We have two panelists asking questions this afternoon. We have Mary Bava representing the League of Women Voters, and Deandra Davey, who is representing the NAACP. Thank you both for being here. I would now like to ask the candidates to self-introduce themselves just with your names. Thank you.
Steve Colangelo.
Dan Wright. Dan Wright.
Good, so we have mic checks and we're off to go, so thank you very much. Mr. Colangelo, you will be the first person and we will start with your opening statement. Thank you.
Great, thank you. My name is Steve Colangelo. I've owned a small business here in Stockton for the past 30 years. It's been hard surviving and keeping our doors open, but we're doing it. As a matter of fact, in 2012, my wife and I had to make one of the toughest choices of our lives. The economy tanked and a lot of our vendors went out of business. We had to choose between trying to save our house and keeping our business going and the 10 employees that work for us employed. We chose our employees and tried to save our house, but eventually lost it to foreclosure. Our city has taken steps in recent months that make it harder to keep a business open, attract new businesses to relocate here, and to keep up with all the new fees and taxes. That's why I decided to run for city council. I can make a difference with my firsthand knowledge of business and survival. I want to bring more quality jobs here to Stockton and to make our streets safer and to work to improve the quality of education for our children.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wright.
I'm Dan Wright. I'm your current city council member for District 2, and I was chosen in January of 2015 from a pool of qualified candidates to serve District 2 for the remainder of Kathy Miller's term on the city council. I've been very clear about what my platform has been for improving our city. It starts with fiscal stability, because exiting bankruptcy, the city has to make sure that we take care of the money that we have to be able to run the city as it needs to be. The second issue is public safety. Everyone in the city knows that we have some serious challenges with crime and with violence and with gun violence in our town. So we have to make sure that our police force is fully prepared. The third is education. I have a track record of success as an educator, and I'll be able to speak more to that later.
Thank you. Deandra Davey will ask her first question, and she will direct it to Councilman Wright.
What are your thoughts related to the City of Stockton's relationships with the County of San Joaquin, and what improvements would you suggest?
1 minute, 2 minutes?
1.5 minutes.
1.5 minutes, okay. It's a complicated relationship, and it hasn't been a good one in past years. The county is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. They get a lot of funding from homeowners and businesses in town, and they're specifically, they get a lot of state funding for dealing with issues that are important here for our community, such as the homeless issue. That's the one issue where there's been very little cooperation, and my focus would be to get our council working closely with the county on the issue of solving the plethora of problems that cause homelessness. This isn't just an issue of income for most of these individuals. It's an issue of mental health, which the county receives a tremendous amount of funding for, and it's an issue of drug treatment that they receive also additional funding for. Another issue is blight in our community. I mean, if you look around around our community. I've been working on cleanups in the city of Stockton and in the county areas because it is one of the issues that people I know feel a lot of concern about and want to see things done. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What are your thoughts related to the city of Stockton's relationship with the county of San Joaquin, and what improvements would you suggest?
It is true that the county of San Joaquin is a very large entity, but the county of San Joaquin looks to the city of Stockton to provide its own leadership. And that's what I think county supervisors are looking to our city council to provide leadership with these specific issues. Then they can lend assistance. We have to provide that leadership first, and it has to come from consensus within the city council. So as we look to our county, we cannot take all of our problems and just say they get more money, so they need to be the ones that fix the problem. We have to take the leadership, and we have to do that through consensus, like I just said. So working with our council members, we need to address the issues of homelessness. We do need to address the issues of blight within our city. But we also need to address the issues of the lack of job opportunities throughout our community, more specifically within South Stockton. We need to provide leadership. We can do that locally before we go to the county.
Thank you. Mary Baba will ask the next question, and Mr. Colangelo, you'll be the first to respond.
Many times it is said that a thriving downtown is key to a healthy community. What can be done to create a thriving downtown?
I fully believe in what is being done right now with the Open Window project, and I believe that their plans to reinvigorate downtown are very, very good. I like the live-work relationship that they have incorporated within their plan. I also believe that the attention that is given to downtown, and it's been this way for years and years and years, needs to be followed through with actual action. We've talked about so many numerous studies and plans and ideas, but we really haven't seen anything until Joe Dara came in to do the Weber Point Event Center and the development that took place downtown. So a healthy downtown is very, very important to our community. We cannot survive and become a vibrant community without a healthy downtown. So I fully support what we're doing downtown and the direction that it's going in.
Again, my opponent spoke about the Open Window project, and I think that is going to be the cog that drives the revitalization of our downtown. We're already seeing some of the benefits of it. If you've been downtown to see the Cal Weber 40 project, it's tremendous. It's a low-income housing development, but you wouldn't know by looking at it. They've done a tremendous job of blending in with the rest of downtown architecture, and it's going to be a solid piece to our downtown community. However, what's going to be the indicator that our downtown is really revitalizing is when we're able to put market rate housing in, and people are going to come downtown, pay market rate, and we will have tenants living there. A lot of the problems that people talk about in downtown, the homeless, some of the blight issues you see there, they'll go away quickly once we have tenants in the area. Those tenants likely will be artists and musicians. That's kind of the market that the Open Window folks are looking for. I think that's going to give us the best opportunity to turn the downtown around. The artists will come first, and that will be followed by retail and restaurants.
Thank you. Deandra Davey will ask the next question, and first to Councilmember Wright.
Outside of downtown, what other areas of Stockton do you think present an opportunity for redevelopment and revitalization? revitalization? And also, what do you think would be appropriate approach for the city?
There's areas all throughout our city, but since we're running for the District 2 seat, I can talk about specifically District 2 and the areas within there that have some tremendous needs for redevelopment and revitalization. Some of that's already occurring on Kelly Drive with the work that Calvary Assembly of God Church is doing. Pastor Jaleel and Pete Peterson are doing some tremendous work there to create the Heroes Park and just revive the community on their own without public assistance. The Fox Creek neighborhood is tremendously overpopulated. There's a need for additional housing in North Stockton that people, I mean, if you just drive south on Fox Creek Drive on a Sunday morning, you'll see all the cars. There are probably 10 to 12 people living in a house meant for 3 or 4 people. There's the area around Kennedy School, the Ponce de Leon neighborhood. That's in District 1, but the Acapulco Way apartments there have been blighted for a considerable period of time. And I think there's definitely a need for improvement in that area. I think the best way to do that is work with our district attorney and our city attorneys to make sure that we are prosecuting landlords that are ignoring the blight.
Once again, can I have you repeat the question?
Outside of downtown Stockton, what areas of Stockton do you think present an opportunity for redevelopment and revitalization? And what do you think would be the appropriate approach for the city?
Without question, the most appropriate area for revitalization and expansion is within South Stockton. I have said from day one in my campaign that a healthy South Stockton is a healthy Stockton, and I truly believe it. I think that the job opportunities that need to be created in South Stockton will help all of Stockton. I think that housing opportunities and infill projects within South Stockton would benefit all of Stockton. I truly believe that if we invest in an area that has been oppressed and hard hit and forgotten about, we will see the benefits as a community as a whole. South Stockton is my short answer, and the exact projects, you can see what's happening right now with the closing of the New Grand Market, the Financial Center Credit Union office being open. These are projects that we need to expand on, and we need to tout them. We need to also create incentives to get more to do this.
Thank you. Mary Bob will ask the next question, and Mr. Colangelo, you'll be first to respond.
Please name 2 reasons you think that companies don't relocate or expand in Stockton. What are 2 selling points you would use to attract new business?
Well, one of the reasons why companies don't expand into areas and relocate is the trainability of students or workers for employees, as employees. Also, they do look at tax increment and also fee schedules. The fees that were just recently voted on by my opponent once again make Stockton one of the most unattractive cities to move into as far as a business is concerned. And as a matter of fact, we've been nationally ranked again as one of the most difficult cities in America, actually the most difficult city in America to start a small business. You don't make it easier, you don't help business, you don't help small businesses by increasing the water rates, by continually raising the taxes. We need to lower the business application fees. We need to look at ways of attracting businesses, and that's what I do. I am a small business. So we plan on advocating for those types of things to make our city more attractive, not by going the other way and raising fees and making it more and more difficult for people to make ends meet in our community.
Thank you. Deidre Davey will ask the next question, and Councilmember Wright.
Don't I get to answer that one?
I'm sorry. My error. And your time did not start yet.
Okay. Okay, first, the two reasons businesses don't relocate here. One of them is the lack of a populated workforce. And it's not that we're doing a horrible job of educating our students. To the contrary, there are very many successful students that come out of Stockton schools. The problem is that it's a chicken or the egg thing. The jobs aren't here for those students to return to when they go away to school and graduate. I want to speak to the issue of fees that my opponent talked about. I would love to hear his solution for how we could have solved the issue of the water rates, because if we did not increase the water rate fees, we would have defaulted on the bonds. If we default on the bonds, then the bondholders will take control of the North Delta Water Treatment Plant. It was a difficult decision, but I think the council made the right decision on that. Selling points, we're doing well in job creation compared to the rest of the state of California. In the quarter 2, 2016, Stockton was ranked 4th in the state in job creation with a 4.1% job creation rate. That's not me. That's the state's reports coming out telling us that. It's not a great job creation rate, but again, we're doing better than the others. Another selling point is our geography. We are the best place in the state for logistics. I mean, it's just a solid selling point.
Thank you very much. And now we will get the next question, which will be asked by Deidre Davey. Thank you.
In a news article in the Record newspaper not long ago, Stockton is cited as the #1 city in California for violent crime per capita. Do you have any special ideas, recommendations about addressing crime and working with African Americans and other minority groups in the community to develop a community plan?
So violent crime is nothing new, sadly. Okay, and the solutions aren't simple. We've tried a lot of different solutions over the years. We have to have a strong and functioning police force that's fully staffed. I was part of a council that worked to increase police pay so we would become more competitive in the market. And I think you've seen a stem in the number of police officers leaving the other municipalities. We're at 417 officers right now. Our ultimate goal is 485. When we get to 485 officers, you will see a stem in that. There will be more opportunity for us to have joint task forces to deal with some of the issues that create the violent crime, most importantly gangs and drugs. You don't have a lot of wiggle room to create task forces to deal with those issues right now with 417 officers. And then, can you repeat the last part of that question again?
Yes. So do you have any special ideas, recommendations about addressing crime?
And then working, the place-based initiatives such as Reinvent Stockton, Reinvent South Stockton have been working very well. We've been looking for an opportunity to create something similar in North Stockton and look at some of the issues that the neighborhoods of North Stockton are looking at as well. Poverty is not specific only to South Stockton. We've got it all throughout our city.
Once again, the question.
In a recent article in the Record, not long ago, Stockton is cited as the #1 city in California for violent crime per capita. Do you have any special ideas, recommendations about addressing crime and working with African Americans and other minority groups in the community to develop a community plan?
Thank you for asking that question. That actually is probably the question of the night, because we need a more diverse police department. I've been calling on this throughout the primary, and I believe for a fact that we are trying to make inroads in that direction, but we are not there. We need a police department that reflects our community. As a private citizen, I wanted to become involved, and I knew this very issue was in the forefront of most people's minds. That's the reason why this last January, I started the Stockton Crime Forum at Cesar Chavez High School, a non-political event that involved law enforcement, business leaders, and also just average everyday people in the community to find out what programs are available to make us feel safer in our homes and in our small businesses. That's the type of activity that a council member can take. Unfortunately, this council member has been on the council for 2 years, coming up on 2 years. I'm not even elected to the council, and I've been able to put together the Stockton Crime Forum. That's what we need: more community interaction, more openness, and we do need more police officers. But you know, filling our ranks with rookies is not the answer. We need a better retention program. This pay increase that he's talking about did nothing to address the retention program problem that we have in the city of Stockton.
Thank you. Mary Bobbitt has the next question, and Mr. Colangelo, you will be first to respond.
Measure M, a measure to fund library and recreation services in Stockton, is on the November ballot. Do you support or oppose Measure M, and why?
I oppose Measure M, and I'll tell you exactly why. It's not because I oppose libraries. That's ridiculous. I support libraries. My kids went to libraries when they were kids. I do not support tax increases. I think the citizens of this city pay enough in fees and taxes. We continually are raising our taxes to a stratospheric level, and this community is becoming so unattractive for businesses to relocate here. Let's not even talk about businesses. For residents to live here, it is becoming so expensive just to pay the taxes and fees. Take the single mom who doesn't have the ability to whip up $20 or $40 more every month because of this water increase. What about the lady that has Social Security income, fixed income? The taxes and the fees are what is killing our community. And this councilman would do nothing more than raise your taxes again and again. I do not support Measure M. Once again, not because I don't support libraries, but it's because of the tax increase and the burden it puts onto our citizenry.
Nobody wants to raise taxes. There isn't a single person that's going to come out and say, I support higher taxes. That's foolish. I support Measure M, and I support it because there's a tremendous dearth of libraries and recreational opportunities in our community. If you go to our schools, you'll see that we've got a tremendous number of students out there that don't get the recreational opportunities in some of our sports leagues because there's just such a tremendous cost that comes attached to them. When our parks and recreations programs are considerably less expensive, and our students are able to benefit from those. I not only support it, I've given money to them for the effort. This is, if you look at the number of libraries per capita, we have about one library for every 90,000 residents in our city right now. In San Francisco, they have one library for every 15,000 residents. Libraries are part of the answer, they're part of the solution, and so is recreational opportunities. People talk about why kids turn to drugs and gangs, and part of that is lack of opportunity to keep themselves occupied with other opportunities. This is not a tax in terms of people just taxing the citizenship. We're allowing them the decision to decide whether they want to increase their sales taxes by 0.25% to pay for very needed services.
Thank you. That ends our formal questions. You both now will be given a minute and a half for your closing statement, and we will start with Councilman Wright.
So I'd like to thank the League, the NAACP, and Delta College for the opportunity to share my thoughts and positions with you. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to be honest, this is not an easy race. I'm going to have to fight to win, and I'm doing it. There's a significant difference between the two of us. I've worked as a consensus builder on the council since I got there. You can look and see that our meetings are much calmer than they used to be. I've been a successful educator. You can look at my record as an educator. I've improved my schools wherever I've been a principal, and I did my best at a central office level to change things throughout the district as well. My opponent has had some difficulty as a leader. He was on the Convention and Visitors Bureau when it lost funding from the city and almost went under as an organization. He was on the board for the Boys and Girls Club when they lost their national charter. It's scary to think of what he might do on our council. You know, you can count on me to be thoughtful and careful with our city. I'm hoping that I have your vote on November 8th, and I can add your vote to the support I'm getting from Congressman McNerney, Senator Galgiani, Assemblymember Eggman, 4 members of our city council, and a number of supervisors and local political organizations that support my candidacy. Thank you.
I would like to thank the League of Women Voters, Delta College, and the NAACP for producing this event. I would also like to thank my opponent for sharing his ideas. Stockton is my home. My wife and I have raised our kids here and employed hundreds of people over the past 30 years. Win or lose, I want to help to make this city a better place to live for all of us. I know we can do better. We need to set a bold new agenda for Stockton that includes attracting more businesses to relocate here, making our streets safer, and improving our schools. Our leaders need to bring together the most talented people in our city that are willing to help achieve these goals. As election day approaches, I would like everyone to carefully analyze what they think needs to be done in the city of Stockton. Which one of the candidates possess the skill sets and the knowledge to work with fellow council members to benefit our fellow citizens? I want to feel safer in my own home, and I know you do too. A vote for Steve Colangelo will help do just that. I would be honored to receive your vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I would now like to thank our panelists, Mary Baba, DeAndre Daly. I would like to thank our candidates, Steve Colangelo and Councilman Dan Wright. Please, would you all join me in thanking them? Before we end this, first of all, I would also like you to please help me thank the students that you can see and the students you can't see, because they're making sure that this is going to go live right now, and also our faculty that work with our students so diligently. So please do help us recognize them. I want to remind you that the deadline for registering to vote is October 24th. You have a number of ways that you can do that in order to be ready to vote on November 8th. You can register online at sos.ca.gov. You need either an ID card, driver's license, or your last 4 digits of your social security card. Or you can go to down the hall today and we have paper applications to register to vote. And I want to encourage you most of all to vote on November 8th. Thank you all for being here this afternoon.